When you get into trouble and need a lawyer, oftentimes there are a lot of questions and concerns.
So managing partner of Rowan, Gurvey & Wynn and host of Gurvey's Law radio show, Alan Gurvey, is here to give us some direction. Hello.
Alan, nice to have you here.
It's great to be here.
I've been listening to you for a long time on the radio. It's great to meet you in person.
Thank you. It's great to be here. And same as you, I've been watching you since I was, well, not a little boy, a big boy. A big boy.
Nice.
Well, thank you, Alan.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Great to have you here.
So let's talk about this because people hear the radio commercials for lawyers, they see the billboards, and all of their favorite hosts on television and radio saying, "Oh, my favorite friend, this lawyer is the right guy or gal." How do you do that?
I'm not sure you should really listen to those ads on the radio or on TV. I don't want to disparage everyone. I think lawyering really needs to focus on the lawyer, him or herself, and what they do, for instance, in court. I'm a trial attorney, so the things that you want to look for are not someone who necessarily goes on the air, even though I'm a radio host, shoot myself in the foot.
Right.
But that's not what it's about.
No.
It's about your passion for, in my case, winning a case or defending my client. I do workers' compensation, so I represent injured workers, and some of them are seriously injured or killed on the job. Mm-hmm. And when I speak to one of my clients, a widow, there was an accident at Disneyland where my client was killed. You speak to the widow, your heart just breaks. Right. I get that passion, like I am going to do the best for her and her little 3-year-old son and her 9-year-old son. We are going to make their life better. That's what you need to look for in a lawyer. Passion, persistence, and patience.
I think it's interesting to me that people don't often know what to do until they're in a crisis moment, and they don't realize actually that a lawyer is your advocate. That you have to find somebody who's going to speak for you to navigate what's a very scary situation when you enter the courts.
Exactly, and you wouldn't believe how many lawyers put me to sleep. I go against lawyers all the time, and I'm like, really? Where's your passion?
Yeah.
You go before a judge, and I remember one judge who said to me, Ms. Gurvey, can you give me your perspective? And I went crazy. I was like, this is it, this is. And the other attorney said, Judge, you're not going to let him speak to you like that. And the judge says, yes, of course, it's Mr. Gurvey. Yeah. He has something to say.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of lawyers have nothing to say. They're dull, boring. I shouldn't say that, but it's true.
Right.
It's like, have passion, believe in what you are trying to advocate for, and that's what someone should look for in an attorney. Someone who really wants to represent their interests, not going through the motions for the money.
So, okay, that's what was going to be, the money is going to be my next part of that. So, first of all, how do you just have to interview a bunch of people to try and find a lawyer with that passion, one? And two, doesn't passion cost a lot of money?
I don't think it does. I think passion is something you have inside of you. And you look at a person's upbringing, their background, see what they've done in life. If they've really believed in a cause or believed in something, whatever it is. I'm not here to advocate for one side or another. I'm here to advocate for advocacy. Mm-hmm. That's what's important, having passion. When someone talks to me, when they come into my office, they say, oh, wow. I need to take a nap after listening to him.
It's exhausting.
But I'm gonna back it up.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna talk. And you need to get an attorney who really can back up. There's persistence. I had a case that went to the Court of Appeal last year, and the fact is, I lost twice at the trial level. I kept losing and losing, but I knew I was right, and I knew if I appealed it, I was going to be in the right, and ultimately the Court of Appeal ruled in our favor, and it helped so many injured workers throughout the state of California. A precedent law that was the result of persistence and patience.
To me, it's really interesting because the first thing that I would do to look for a lawyer, not necessarily look for a lawyer with passion, but look for a lawyer who has a degree from Harvard or from Yale, from one of those schools, because somehow that makes you a good lawyer? How am I wrong?
Well, I don't know that you're wrong. No, I better not say that. I went to an Ivy League school, so I back that. But the fact of the matter is I think you have to look at the qualities. There's so many people who are lawyers who did not go to the Harvards, the Yales, the Brown, the Princetons, the Penns, the Cornells, the Columbias. They didn't go to the Ivy League schools or Stanford out west. but they really do a good job because they're dedicated to preparing a case. It's another thing you have to do is prepare. I remember on my radio show I was talking to Tom Mesereau, who was representing Michael Jackson at the time, and he was in trial and he was saying he spent hours and hours putting together a trial book that big to cross-examine a witness. He started cross-examining the witness and he realized this person isn't what I thought she was.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that interesting?
He just
Took the
threw
book
all
away.
the preparation away and took a different track through the cross-examination process.
Right.
Now, the fact of the matter is, if you prepare, you can do that. If you don't prepare, where are you?
wouldn't know.
You don't know.
If it's a total cold call to a lawyer, if somebody's in trouble, how do you know that? Like, how do you know that they would prepare? How do you know that they have passion? I mean, obviously passion, you can feel it in their voice and see it in their body language, but how do you know that they're going to prepare? Like, what kind of questions should you ask?
I think that's a great question because people don't know, and people start to talk a lot when they first talk to a lawyer. And one of the things they need to do is realize that let the lawyer talk. Let the lawyer explain what he or she has in mind on the case. Let he or she ask the questions so that you can answer them. It's not about the client talking, it's about listening to what the lawyer says. And a good lawyer will be listening to the client, or potential client, in order to make sure that he or she can give really good advice.
And that it's the right fit.
And it's the right fit. When people come into my office, I talk to them, and a lot of times they say, wow, I never thought of it that way. Or I went to 3 other lawyers and no one ever took that approach. So listen to what the lawyer is saying, and that will give you an idea if this person is going to be able to go to your to support you, have your back, and go to the mat with you. That's what you want, a lawyer who's going to do everything they can to represent your interests.
There it is, Gurvey's Law, right here.
There it
From
is.
the man himself, Alan Gurvey. Great to have you here.
Thank you for coming.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back.